Hello friends, welcome to Book Bites. Today we'll talk about book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are endless and to-do lists are overwhelming, the struggle to stay productive is universal. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy offers a clear, actionable solution to this challenge. The essence of the book is captured in its unusual but memorable title. Tracy borrows a quote attributed to Mark Twain: "If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning." The frog symbolizes your most important task, the one you're most likely to procrastinate on, but also the one that can have the biggest impact on your life and work. Tracy's core message is simple: tackle your most difficult, most valuable task first each day, and your productivity will soar. The book is not just a motivational guide, but a toolkit filled with 21 principles for overcoming procrastination and achieving maximum performance. It emphasizes planning, prioritization, time management, and self-discipline. What makes Eat That Frog so powerful is its practical nature. Tracy doesn't just explain why you should avoid procrastination, he gives you concrete steps to identify your frogs and strategies to stay focused and energized while dealing with them. A key theme throughout the book is clarity. Tracy asserts that when you have clear goals, a written plan, and a strong sense of priority, your mind becomes sharper and decision-making becomes easier. Without clarity, we waste time on unimportant tasks and become victims of procrastination. The book also explores how technology, distractions, and poor planning sabotage our effectiveness and offers ways to overcome these obstacles. Another central idea is that successful people develop the habit of doing the hard, important things consistently. Success, according to Tracy, is not about luck or talent, it's about habits. By building the habit of eating your frog every day, you train yourself to be proactive, focused, and productive. In short, Eat That Frog is a guide to conquering procrastination, managing time wisely, and achieving more with less stress. It's about doing the right things, not just doing things right. If you consistently apply even a few of Tracy's strategies, you can transform your daily routine, boost your efficiency, and make real progress toward your goals. Let's explore the concepts of the book, breaking them down point by point and refining the explanation to ensure clarity and precision. Point 1. Set the table. Clarity is the starting point. The first step in achieving high levels of productivity, according to Brian Tracy, is to set the table. This means gaining absolute clarity about what you want to achieve. Many people waste time because they don't have a clear destination or purpose. Tracy emphasizes that clarity is the foundation of personal effectiveness and the starting point for all success. When you know exactly what you want, it becomes much easier to decide what tasks deserve your attention and which ones are distractions. To set the table, Tracy recommends writing down your goals. He believes there's a powerful connection between writing down your objectives and actually achieving them. The act of putting your goals on paper forces you to think clearly and gives your mind a concrete target to focus on. You're no longer operating in a fog of vague intentions, you have direction and purpose. Tracy suggests writing goals in the present tense, as if they are already achieved, and being as specific as possible. For example, instead of writing, "I want to be more productive," you might write, "I complete my top 3 tasks before noon every day." He also introduces the concept of the master list and the daily list. Your master list contains everything you want to accomplish over time, your long-term goals and big projects. Each day, you create a smaller daily list by selecting the most important items from the master list. This method helps you break big dreams into manageable, actionable steps, keeping you focused and motivated. Tracy warns that without clarity, people often fall into the trap of working hard on tasks that don't really matter. They confuse busyness with productivity and get discouraged when they don't see real progress. But when you're clear on your priorities, every task completed becomes a meaningful step toward a bigger goal. In essence, setting the table is about preparing your mind for action. It aligns your energy and efforts with what truly matters. By writing down clear, specific goals and reviewing them daily, you prime your brain to focus, stay motivated, and take consistent action, which is the heart of productivity. This habit becomes the first crucial step in overcoming procrastination and taking control of your time and life. Point 2. Plan every day in advance, prioritize with purpose. Brian Tracy stresses that one of the most effective time management strategies is planning your day in advance. This simple habit can significantly boost productivity and reduce stress. When you plan ahead, you're proactively directing your time and energy, instead of reacting to what the day throws at you. Tracy believes that every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution, and this small investment yields massive returns in productivity. The planning process starts the night before. Before going to bed, take a few minutes to write down your to-do list for the next day. This helps your subconscious mind work on your goals while you sleep, and allows you to wake up with a clear sense of direction. Tracy suggests making this a daily habit so that you begin each morning with purpose and structure. He emphasizes prioritizing your tasks using the ABCD method. In this system, A tasks are the most important to your frogs and have serious consequences if not done. B tasks are important but not as critical as A tasks. C tasks are nice to do but have no consequences if skipped. D tasks are those you can delegate. E tasks are unnecessary and should be eliminated. By categorizing tasks this way, you avoid wasting time on low-value activities. You focus on high-impact actions that move you closer to your goals. The A tasks are the ones that create real results, so Tracy advises tackling them first, even if they seem hard or uncomfortable. These are the frogs you need to eat. Tracy also talks about breaking tasks into smaller steps. If a project feels overwhelming, divide it into bite-sized chunks and schedule each one. This not only reduces procrastination, but also builds momentum as you complete each step. Planning ahead also helps you handle distractions better. When you have a plan, you're less likely to get derailed by emails, phone calls, or other interruptions because you already know what's most important. In summary, planning every day in advance is about being deliberate with your time. It ensures that you focus on tasks that matter and structure your day around purposeful actions. This habit transforms chaotic, reactive workdays into calm, focused, and productive ones, a key principle in mastering time and achieving success. Point 3. Apply the 80-20 rule. Focus on high-impact activities. Brian Tracy introduces the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, as a vital tool in achieving productivity and success. According to this principle, 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. This means that not all tasks are created equal, some contribute far more to your goals than others. The key is to identify and focus on those high-value activities that deliver the greatest results. Tracy emphasizes that successful people are not necessarily those who do the most work, but those who do the most important work. He encourages readers to constantly evaluate their tasks and responsibilities by asking, is this one of the top 20% of activities that contribute most to my desired outcomes? If the answer is no, then it's time to reconsider how much energy that task deserves. To implement the 80-20 rule effectively, Tracy suggests making a list of all your tasks and identifying the vital few that have the highest payoff. These are typically the challenging or uncomfortable tasks, the frogs, but they are also the ones that move you forward. Once identified, you should channel your best time, energy, and focus toward completing those top priority tasks first. Another valuable point Tracy makes is that the 80-20 rule applies across all areas of life. In sales, 80% of revenue may come from 20% of clients. In learning, 20% of study materials might give you 80% of understanding. By recognizing this pattern, you can continually simplify and refine your efforts, reducing wasted time and maximizing outcomes. He also warns against spending too much time on the trivial many, the 80% of tasks that only produce 20% of results. These may feel urgent or satisfying to check off your list, but they often don't add significant value. Tracy argues that spending time on these low-impact activities is one of the biggest time wasters and productivity killers. Ultimately, this principle teaches you to work smarter, not harder. It's about being selective and intentional with your time. Instead of striving to be busy, the goal is to be effective. Mastering the 80-20 rule helps you concentrate your efforts where they matter most, leading to faster progress, better results, and greater satisfaction. Point 4. Consider the consequences. Long-term thinking fuels better decisions. In Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy emphasizes the importance of long-term thinking when setting priorities and choosing tasks. One of the most powerful ways to decide what to do first, he says, is to ask yourself, what are the consequences of doing or not doing these tasks? The greater the potential consequences, positive or negative, the more important the task is likely to be. This principle is rooted in the idea that successful people focus on long-term rewards over short-term comfort. When you consider the long-term outcomes of your actions, you gain clarity on what truly matters. tasks with serious long-term benefits like investing in skill development, building relationships, or tackling major projects often feel harder in the moment but yield the highest returns in the future. Tracy explains that people who are most effective are those who can delay gratification. They resist the temptation to prioritize easy, low-impact tasks just for the sake of checking things off a list. Instead, they consistently focus on tasks with lasting impact, knowing that this approach compounds over time to create massive results. To use this principle practically, Tracy recommends making it a habit to ask yourself, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? Then assess each task by its consequences. Will it move your goals forward? Will it build your career or personal life in a meaningful way? Will it reduce problems down the line? This kind of thinking helps you avoid being caught up in daily distractions and guides you toward the work that truly matters. He also advises creating a long-term vision for your life and goals. When you know where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, you become better at identifying which actions align with that vision. This approach brings a deeper sense of purpose to your work and strengthens your discipline to stick with tough tasks. By consistently evaluating tasks based on their long-term effects, you develop better judgment and productivity. You also build a proactive mindset that looks beyond immediate pressures and focuses on what truly builds success and fulfillment. In this way, thinking about consequences becomes a powerful tool not just for time management, but for making better life decisions overall. Point 5. Practice the ABCDE method. Prioritize like a pro. In Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy introduces the ABCDE method, a simple yet powerful prioritization tool that helps you manage your tasks effectively. This method allows you to rank tasks in terms of importance and urgency, making it easier to focus on what truly matters instead of getting lost in busy work. Here's how the method works. Tasks are very important tasks you must do. If you don't do them, there are serious consequences. These are your frogs, the big, challenging, high-value tasks that drive your success. You should always start your day with these. B tasks are important, but not as critical as A tasks. These might involve responding to emails, making routine phone calls, or following up on non-urgent issues. There are minor consequences for not doing them, but they don't directly move the needle like A tasks. C tasks are nice to do, but have no consequences if left undone. These could be checking social media, chatting with coworkers, or organizing your desk. While they might feel productive, they don't lead to meaningful results. D tasks are those you can delegate. Someone else can do them just as well, freeing you up for the more critical tasks that require your unique skills. E tasks are tasks you should eliminate altogether. These are time wasters, activities that neither bring results nor add value to your life or work. By assigning a letter to each task on your to-do list, you create a clear picture of what deserves your attention first. If you have multiple A tasks, you can prioritize them further as A1, A2, A3, and so on. This helps in deciding which frog to eat first. Tracy stresses that discipline comes from forcing yourself to start with the A1 task, the biggest, hardest, and most valuable job of the day, and working on it until it's complete. This builds momentum and creates a sense of accomplishment that fuels the rest of your day. The ABCDE method also helps reduce overwhelm. Instead of looking at a long to-do list and feeling paralyzed, you now have a roadmap showing you what matters most. This eliminates decision fatigue and boosts your productivity. By mastering this technique, you'll train your brain to instinctively evaluate tasks by their impact, making you a more focused and results-driven person. Point 6. Focus on key result areas. Do what truly matters. In Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy emphasizes the significance of identifying and concentrating on your key result areas, KRAs, the core responsibilities that determine your success in a job, career, or life role. These are the specific areas where consistent excellence will make the biggest difference in your productivity and results. Each job, role, or goal has 5 to 7 key result areas. For example, if you're a sales professional, your KRAs might include lead generation, client meetings, follow-ups, closing deals, and after-sales support. If you're a parent, your KRAs may include nurturing, educating, disciplining, and emotionally supporting your children. Tracy argues that success comes from identifying these key areas and committing to improving your performance in each. To apply this concept effectively, the first step is to define your role clearly. What are you responsible for? What outcomes are you being paid or expected to deliver? Once you're clear on this, list the core areas where your performance truly counts. Next, evaluate yourself honestly. Are you strong in all your key areas, or is there one or two where you're weak? Tracy emphasizes that your weakest key area often sets the limit on your overall performance, like the weakest link in a chain. Therefore, improving that one area can significantly elevate your effectiveness in all others. Once you know your key areas, plan your day around them. Prioritize tasks that directly impact these areas and delegate or defer tasks that don't. This ensures you're not just busy, you're productive in a meaningful way. Focusing on key areas also provides clarity. When you know exactly what matters most in your role, it becomes easier to say no to distractions and time-wasting activities. This focus reduces stress and builds confidence because you're consistently working toward what truly moves the needle. In addition, committing to mastery in your key areas boosts your value whether to your employer, your business, or your personal life. People who excel in their key areas are the ones who get noticed, trusted, promoted, and appreciated. In short, when you clearly define and consistently focus on your key result areas, you align your daily actions with your long-term goals, and that's the real secret to becoming more effective, efficient, and successful. Point 7. Apply the law of 3. Identify the core of your work. One of the most powerful insights Brian Tracy shares in Eat That Frog is the law of 3. This principle helps you uncover the 3 most important tasks you do that contribute the most value to your job or life. According to Tracy, about 90% of the value you contribute comes from just 3 core activities, while the rest is often less important or even trivial. To apply this law, start by listing everything you do in your role. This could include all your professional duties, responsibilities, and even personal commitments. Once you've created the list, ask yourself a key question for each item. If I could only do one thing on this list all day long, which would contribute the most to my success? Mark that as your first core activity. Then repeat the question 2 more times to identify the second and third most valuable tasks. Tracy argues that by focusing your energy and time on these 3 critical areas, you'll achieve far more than if you scatter your efforts across many less significant tasks. These top 3 tasks are usually what generate the majority of your income, progress, or impact. This law is closely connected to the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule, where 80% of results come from 20% of actions. But the law of 3 is more focused and precise, encouraging you to identify the absolute top 3 tasks instead of just a vague 20%. Once you've identified your big 3, structure your workday around them. Schedule your most focused, distraction-free hours for these tasks. Guard that time and treat it as sacred. This strategic approach allows you to eat the frog by tackling the most valuable work first and ensures your efforts bring the greatest return. Another key insight here is elimination. If you're spending time on things that aren't among your top 3, delegate, automate, or remove them if possible. This frees up energy and mental clarity for what really counts. Ultimately, the law of 3 simplifies decision-making and keeps you aligned with your core purpose. It's about doing less, but doing what truly matters more, and that's what leads to deep, meaningful progress in any area of life. Point 8. Focus on key result areas. Know what counts most. In Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy emphasizes the importance of identifying and focusing on key result areas, KRAs. These are the specific tasks and responsibilities that you are directly accountable for, the activities that must be done well and consistently to achieve success in your role, business, or personal goals. Knowing and mastering these areas is crucial to maximizing your effectiveness. Every job, role, or responsibility has a few tasks that determine your success more than others. For example, a sales professional's KRAs might include prospecting new clients, closing deals, and following up after a sale. For a parent, they might include spending quality time with children, guiding their behavior, and providing emotional support. The key is to clearly define what results are expected from you, and then rate your performance in each area. Tracy recommends asking your boss, if you have one, your team, or even yourself, what are the most important results that I'm responsible for? This helps you clarify expectations and align your efforts accordingly. Often we spend too much time on activities that may be urgent but not truly important for long-term success. By zeroing in on your KRAs, you shift your attention to what really matters. After identifying your key result areas, honestly assess your strengths and weaknesses in each. Ask, which of these areas, if improved, would make the biggest positive difference in my results? Focus on developing that area because your weakest KRA limits your overall success. Just like a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, your effectiveness is held back by your lowest performing essential task. Once you know your KRAs and your weaknesses, commit to continuous learning and improvement. Read, take courses, seek feedback, and deliberately practice. Improvement in even one key area can dramatically boost your productivity and effectiveness. This point in the book is about clarity and growth. When you are clear about what counts most and work to get better at those specific things, you not only increase your value, you also reduce overwhelm. Instead of trying to do everything, you focus on doing the right things well. And in the long run, that is what sets high performers apart from the rest. Point 9. Prepare thoroughly before you begin. Set yourself up for success. In Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy discusses the critical role of preparation in productivity and task execution. He explains that one of the best ways to ensure consistent high-quality work is to prepare thoroughly before starting. Just as a chef lays out ingredients before cooking, mise en place, high performers ensure everything is in order before tackling a major task. Preparation involves both mental and physical readiness. Physically, this means organizing your tools, workspace, and resources. For example, if you're writing a report, gather all relevant data, open necessary documents, clear your desk, and eliminate distractions. The goal is to create an environment where focus comes easily and interruption is minimized. Mental preparation means planning the steps, anticipating obstacles, and having clarity on your objective. When you take time to prepare, you reduce the chance of procrastination. A cluttered or disorganized space often leads to delays and excuses. Tracy argues that every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. This principle emphasizes that thoughtful preparation can make your work smoother, quicker, and less stressful. Another key part of preparation is thinking on paper. Tracy recommends outlining your task in advance, writing down the sequence of actions, identifying required resources, and deciding what success looks like. This not only gives you direction, but also boosts motivation. When you see a clear plan in front of you, you're more likely to begin and persist. Tracy also highlights how emotionally preparing yourself helps manage resistance. If a task seems difficult or unpleasant, mentally rehearsing the process or visualizing the positive outcome can reduce anxiety and build confidence. Many people fail to begin difficult tasks not because they're incapable, but because they haven't mentally prepared for the effort. This point also ties into building momentum. Once everything is set, it's much easier to begin. And starting is often the hardest part. As Tracy says, well begun is half done. When your environment is ready, your tools are within reach, and your mind is focused, you increase your chances of completing even the most challenging tasks with less effort. Ultimately, thorough preparation reduces friction. It helps you move into deep work faster and stay there longer. It supports discipline and consistency, and it transforms overwhelming projects into manageable steps, increasing both confidence and output. Point 10. Develop the habit of focused work, make it a routine. The final concept in Eat That Frog is about cultivating a habit of focused work. Brian Tracy emphasizes that discipline and consistency are the keys to success, and one of the most effective ways to achieve this is by creating a habit of tackling your most important tasks with full concentration, without distractions. Many of us start with good intentions, but often succumb to interruptions or distractions, which prevent us from doing meaningful work. Tracy suggests that in today's world, distractions are everywhere: social media, emails, notifications, and they can easily derail our productivity. To be effective, you must make it a routine to focus on your most important task first and protect your time. The process starts with understanding that focus is a skill that must be cultivated. It requires deliberate effort and should be nurtured daily. Tracy advises readers to practice concentration for short periods at first and then gradually increase the length of focused work. This method builds your ability to concentrate and trains your brain to stay on task for longer durations. A major part of developing this habit is eliminating distractions. Tracy stresses the importance of creating an environment that encourages focus. This could mean turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs, or finding a quiet place to work. The idea is to set up your space in a way that minimizes interruptions, so you can devote your full attention to your task. Technology should serve you, not distract you. Another aspect of developing a focused work habit is scheduling deep work sessions. Tracy suggests setting aside specific blocks of time each day to work on important tasks. These blocks should be non-negotiable and protected from other obligations. During these times, the sole focus should be on completing the task at hand, no multitasking. The key is consistency. Once it becomes part of your routine, it will feel natural to work with such intensity. Tracy also talks about the power of positive reinforcement. Once you complete a focused work session, reward yourself. This could be a break, a small treat, or even just acknowledging your accomplishment. Positive reinforcement helps strengthen the habit and makes you more likely to repeat the behavior in the future. Over time, this habit of focused work leads to mastery and exceptional results. When you consistently tackle your frogs first and engage in focused, deliberate work, you will find that your output improves and your efficiency increases. You'll become less overwhelmed by tasks, more confident in your abilities, and more productive overall. In summary, building the habit of focused work requires intentionality, consistency, and a commitment to eliminating distractions. With these practices in place, you can train your brain to focus deeply and accomplish significant goals. Conclusion: Mastering time and productivity. In conclusion, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy is a comprehensive guide to overcoming procrastination, mastering time management, and significantly improving productivity. The book provides a powerful roadmap for anyone looking to achieve more in less time. At its core, the book is about prioritization, focus, and discipline. Tracy's key message throughout the book is that we all have tasks that we tend to avoid. These are the frogs in our lives. They often represent the most important but difficult tasks, and tackling them head-on is crucial for success. By consistently focusing on eating the frog first, or completing the most difficult task of the day, we can eliminate procrastination and make the rest of the day feel more manageable and productive. The book's 10 essential principles help readers address procrastination at its core. From setting clear goals and prioritizing tasks to cultivating the habit of focused work, each concept contributes to creating a life of intentionality and productivity. Tracy emphasizes the importance of setting long-term goals and breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks, as well as developing the discipline to stick to those plans. He also stresses that successful people make a habit of focusing on the most important tasks first and avoiding distractions that hinder progress. Through strategies like time blocking, eliminating distractions, and continuous self-improvement, Tracy offers practical tools to increase efficiency and effectiveness. The book is not just about getting more work done, but about getting the right work done, work that will bring long-term fulfillment and success. It teaches us to say no to the distractions and focus on what truly matters, whether in our careers, personal lives, or personal growth. Ultimately, Eat That Frog is a call to action to stop delaying important tasks and start taking deliberate steps towards success. The habits of focused work, strategic planning, and daily prioritization can lead to profound changes in how we manage our time and accomplish our goals. By applying Tracy's principles, we can break free from the cycle of procrastination, work more efficiently, and achieve greater success in all areas of our lives. This book is an invaluable resource for anyone looking to increase their productivity, enhance their time management skills, and achieve more with less stress. Its actionable insights are easy to implement, making it a practical guide to mastering the art of productivity.